So, what do we talk about in the course? First and foremost, we discuss what mindfulness actually is, because I think that's a really important topic. This is mindfulness in sport. What does it mean to be mindful? It's a particular way of paying attention. And so I will debunk some myths around it because there's misunderstandings around what mindfulness is. And then we will practice a little bit with mindful attention. We talk about neuroplasticity, which is a really cool concept that our nervous systems can actually change, which means we can learn new things. We can get rid of patterns that don't serve us or habits that don't serve us, and we can learn new ways of being. Why is that important with mindfulness? Well, because mindfulness is a practice that changes our brain. So I talk about the different brain changes that there's actually some research around now. One structure in the brain being the amygdala. This is a little structure that sits up in our brain and it's involved in our fear response. So we found that with mindfulness, the activity in the amygdala is reduced a little bit. So, how does this apply to athletics? Well, if an athlete isn't being hijacked by fear, they might be able to take the appropriate steps and progressions to build towards a new skill, to learning something. Fear can so often take over an athlete, either in the training facility or in competition. And sometimes it is a cause for people to leave athletics altogether. So, if we have tools and practices that can reduce the fear in the brain, then athletes are going to be much better off. I also talk about how mindfulness is a tool that has been shown to reduce disordered eating, or at least to help athletes who have experienced disordered eating recover. And I really dive into maybe a theory behind why that might work based on brain changes and the practice of mindfulness and how it shifts our relationship with our bodies a little bit, which then can have positive repercussions when it comes to things like disordered eating and body image issues. We really talk about implementing mindfulness. So, how do we train in mindfulness? Just like we train in the gym, how do we train in the athletic arena? So, in any moment, we can practice mindfulness. How do we train outside of the athletic arena? Maybe with something like formal meditation practice. And again, this is for athletes, for coaches, and for the parents. My ultimate intention with this course is teaching tools that help athletes feel more present and more connected to themselves, to their teammates, to their coaches, and vice versa, for parents and coaches to feel more connected to their athletes in healthy and safe ways. Because when we feel more balanced and connected, and we are more likely to perform better. And then what's even more important, I think, is that beyond athletics, which, you know, at some point, every athlete is going to be done with their athletic career. Every coach is going to have to retire. Every parent is going to have an athlete that leaves their home at some point. Individuals in sport feel well equipped to leave their sport with a healthy sense of self, that everyone involved has greater self awareness, a healthy relationship to their bodies and to who they are, and this sense of empowerment and enjoyment in whatever it is that they do when they're done with athletics. And to know that whatever was learned in the athletic arena can build and support and create a successful and fulfilling life far beyond the sporting arena.